Hold on, do it. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
I'm like, hey, what's up? See my track going we be coming up.
Yo, what's up y'all? Ben here, and today we got a war recap versus Sake of War. So, the final war score was 57-47. Our first attack here is going to be Corey. He's the master of Town Hall 9, Golaloon. Now, what's special about Corey's raids is that he pretty much gets a 3-star against Town Hall 9s with his Golaloon. I mean, it's natural for Town Hall 10s to 3-star Town Hall 9s, but Corey basically uses a Golaloon for every single Town Hall 9 that he faces, and he 3-stars them. I mean, he doesn't even bother trying to go-ho or anything, just simply gets a 3-star. Now, I want to bring up something that he used a double poison, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is that a lot of clans that we've been facing, they actually don't use a double poison. They would basically just use some haste spell or use like the 8 earthquakes. They never actually use double poison. Now, obviously, we've been facing some go-wipe clans, so therefore the need for a double poison isn't as drastic compared to a go-ho. But I've seen a couple of go-ho clans that don't use double poison for some reason, and I just want to point out that double poison actually works for almost any level poison spell except for level 1. For taking out a max level drag in the clan castle, you would need a level 4 and a level 1 minimum. If you had a level 3, another level 3 would work. A level 2 and a 3 would also work. Level 2 and a 2 would work only on level 4 drags, but that's pretty close to taking out a max level drag again. So double poisons is actually something that's very underused, and not many clans that I've faced actually use this. Now obviously I still understand why people still use earthquakes and haste spells in their raids, but ultimately if you didn't want to spend any troops on killing a clan castle, or just don't have any troops die whatsoever to a clan castle, double poisons definitely has no losses whatsoever. And we're just gonna watch this raid finish up and we're gonna move on. So here we have Fish, our former One Hive member. He's basically mastered the art of go-ho, and when he makes his armies, he actually builds his armies one by one by basically saying these 4 hogs will take out this defense, or saying I will have my wizards take out this portion of the base, and by doing so he basically has a different army every single time. And for me at least, I haven't been to that level. For me, I start off with the template version, 2 golems, 10 wizards-ish, 25 hogs, and then I can edit around the numbers a little bit. Now that's the difference, that's the key difference between the different types of clans out there. Now when you guys search for your clans, you guys want to find a proper clan that fits you. There's going to be very casual clans where they literally don't care about strategy whatsoever. Everything's all laid back and there's almost no guidance whatsoever. Then there's the more serious war clans where they take war a little bit more seriously, they plan out their attacks, and that's the type of clan that we are right now. But then there's obviously going to be the hardcore clans, and these guys, they take the game way too seriously in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. They have to plan out their attacks beforehand, they gotta send it to other people, let them, check it out. Then afterward, as they're attacking, after the attack, they analyze what went wrong or, what went right. Ultimately, there's a lot more time commitment between the different levels of clans. There's the casual level, then there's the serious and competitive level, and then there's the hardcore and very competitive level. But that's just my ranking system. You guys can take a look at your own. So here we're going to look at Parsa's raid. He's one of our older Town Hall 9s. This was a first attack too, but this opponent would actually be very hard if he actually had 2 double giant bombs somewhere. But actually he didn't have any double giant bombs. He had 4 double giant bomb spots, so each one of them wasn't a double giant bomb spot because he put a Tesla with his bomb, which was completely stupid, because if he did so, then it would be a lot harder to hog this base, but he didn't. So really, the main point that I'm trying to get to here is that double giant bombs are hog stoppers. They literally stop almost any hog attack unless you go-ho. And when you go-ho, you trigger those bombs first, and then that kind of clears up the base for the hogs to, run over the base. Now obviously double giant bombs aren't important to stopping go wipes and stuff like that where there's a high amount of hit points to be dealt with, but other than that, I mean, double giant bombs are definitely hog stoppers, and not a lot of people use this strategy to stop hogs. Especially when you go on the internet and go look at YouTube and stuff like that, you look at some bases like Jesus Christ, man, you can't call something anti-hog when there's absolutely zero bombs to try to stop your hogs. And I really get pissed when they start saying something's anti-hog and the bombs are outside of the base, and I'm just like, what? But anyway, that's just my thoughts right now, that some people out there actually don't understand the concept of war and what the art of war is like. Other than that, really, looking at this raid, it was very clean, very efficient, and I will make a tutorial on what kind of spells to bring on go-hos. I don't think I've talked about this very much. It really depends on the type of base that you guys face, and that's why I want to make a tutorial about that, because I never actually discussed this before. Moving on though, on to the last raid of today, we have Nasty Mike, Rob, one of our max offense Town Hall 9s, minus the heroes of course, because it's pretty insane to max heroes wherever you go, but it's possible, but not everybody has max heroes. But moving on. He uses a go wee wee here. It's not a terribly bad choice, especially when your opponent has very open compartments and just in general just an open base, and when you have one too many double giant bombs for you to just care about, that's when you say, okay, I give up trying to go-ho this guy because I'm too lazy to think about my planning, and I'm just gonna roll in with some attack that actually requires no planning whatsoever, and that's a go wee wee or a go wipe, and Rob does so exactly right here. I want to make it clear that go wipe and go wee wee are 2-star attacks, and you can definitely get 3 stars with them, but only rarely, and only when you exercise it perfectly. What I mean by that is that go wipe is actually not very forgiving when it comes to mistakes, and especially when you can't control your P.E.K.K.A.s going somewhere, because sometimes P.E.K.K.A.s just end up going after a wall when you don't want them to. So I just want to point out that go wipes and go wee wees are only used in very certain situations, and I fully endorse go hos, because go hos is actually a very fun attack to use. It's a 2-step attack where you send a kill squad, and then afterward, after you kill the queen and everything, you send in your hog. So that's a 2-step attack. But for go wipe and go wee wee, you basically just go in full on charge with your army, and hopefully they don't start running around the base. Now obviously a funnel can prevent your P.E.K.K.A.s and your wizards from going around the base, but ultimately no good funnel will ever direct your troops exactly where you want to go throughout the base. You'll ultimately lose control somewhere in between. That's gonna do it for today, folks. Remember, I'm Ben, and I'll see y'all next time.